Wow, our crabapple is so pretty this time of the year. And in today's episode, we're going to talk about what we're doing with this big, huge blank area in front of me. Hi, everyone. I'm Kristen, and welcome to Mountain Harmony Gardening. If you caught last week's episode, we talked about the huge changes that we're going to be making to that long bed in the back and why we're going to be doing that. If you haven't, go back and check that out because there was a lot of good information in it. This week's episode, we're going to be talking about the front 2/3 of the yard. Most of it is actually not our vegetable garden. It's this huge blank area right here where Sebastian's playset used to be. And we need to make some big changes to this area because I don't want to just leave this blank. I don't want to tear this all out and put back in grass. That would be more to mow, and I don't think any of us want that. But I really love our Japanese garden and the horse trough that we did this year. And I want to do something really creative with this area. And next, we'll be talking about that. I have really been inspired by other YouTubers and what they're doing with their yards, like Liz from Garden Happy and also Brian with Next Level Gardening. It is amazing what they have done with their yards. They are so creative and they're both very whimsical and fun, and I love it. And on our vacation this year to the Redwood Forest, we went to the Trees of Mystery and they had a beautiful garden there that really inspired me to do something with this big, huge blank area. Now, while it was a playset, it worked out great and we have our gardens that are all around it. But if you've been watching my videos for a few years, you'll know that this garden back here where I have the whiskey barrel and the metal barrels here, doesn't really grow much. And that's because we've been pulling out trash for years out of there. And I finally decided that I want to do something completely different. Now, Liz in Garden Happy recently put in a dry riverbed, and I have seen this before, and I really love that idea. Plus, while we were in California, that also inspired me to do something like that as well, because I saw that there too. And it would take care of our problem that we have with our soil. So I've come up with the idea of making this into a dry riverbed underneath the crabapple, which does fantastic, and putting in some more river rock and such. But I need for that to go somewhere, or for it to start somewhere and go into here. So this huge area out here is now a blank canvas. And I am still trying to decide, maybe I put in a seating area out here, or maybe I put it over there. I maybe want to do like a bridge at some point going over. Do I want to put in a fountain over there? Maybe some sunflowers would look really pretty out here, in my shady area, which is right over there where all those sticks are at. And what do I do with the shady area over here? So there are so many possibilities that we can do with this area. But I need your guys' help. If you had this large of an area that was totally open to do whatever you want to it, what would you guys do? Would you put in a pond? Because I've talked about that before. Would you put in a fire pit? Kind of limited on that one because we have these huge ash trees up above us, but maybe a gas one would work really well here. Do you just make it a big seating area? Do you put up a pergola? So there's so many possibilities and so many ideas that have gone through my head, but I want to know, what would you guys do with this area? This is our front yard, and we have left some grass for Sebastian to be able to run around in, and also for the cats. They love to roll around in the grass. Plus, I think it looks pretty. This is kind of the more formal area of our garden. And I am going to be changing it up because we are going to be taking out some of the bushes. We're going to be taking out the double flowering almond because the root weevils eat so much of it that it just can't grow. Same thing with the sand cherry. It grew a little bit this year, but it really has not grown a lot. And our pine tree, which is right next to Donnie, has grown a lot and done really well in this area. And I want something that the root weevils do not eat. Now, all of my plants are underneath it, like the hostas, the irises, let's see, the barberry and all the other plants, the tulips and such, and the hibiscus. They are not being eaten at all by the root weevils. So I've kind of figured out for the understory what grows really well here. And the same thing for underneath the tree, our ash tree in the front yard. So I need some suggestions. I've thought about maybe an arborvitae, because I know they grow tall and kind of skinny and stay more compact, but would also give us a little bit of privacy up here, which is also kind of what we are wanting. This is supposed to be 6 feet tall to 8 feet tall, and it's about 5 feet tall because I'm 5'3". So I want to change this up, and I got to figure out what works here. I'd grow roses here if I could, but I can't. So we're going to make some changes up here, but for the most part, this area does pretty good, and it does save a lot of water because we only get water twice a week. If you watched last week's video, I talked about a new gardening shed that we're going to be putting up, and that is actually going to go in this area right over here. But the pergola is in the way. So we're going to move the pergola from there over to here. And I know this will be the third time that we've moved it in this yard, but it'll fit on this side of the deck because this is actually a really large deck. And we're going to put in that shed behind us, and then we'll have like a seating area in front of it like we had before. And then we'll have our kind of sitting area up here. So that will give us a lot of storage in here for soil to be able to put my pots in, because I have a lot of pots that I have to put away. Right now, all that is in the cargo trailer, and it is packed full of all of our tools and all of our patio furnitures and such. My hammock's in there, everything's in there. So I want to have an area where all that can go that I don't have to put into our cargo trailer, which needs to be used for business purposes and not quite as much personal purposes, even though a lot of the tools in there are for our business too. So those are the changes that we're going to be making up here. And Socks is definitely enjoying herself in this nice warm fall day. So this is the conclusion to our 4-part series that we have done. And if you want to see what we've been doing in the past, check out the playlist because I have the other 2 years as well. And you can see the transformations that we've been making in our yard over time. So I don't know if we'll get to everything that we've been talking about, but we're going to get to a lot of it. This area will probably be the last area that they get taken care of, but I know for sure I want to at least start on the Japanese garden part of it and change it up a bit this year. So thanks for watching, everyone. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and comment. Happy gardening, everyone.